Now, just when you thought all this bullshit was over, a House panel, a House committee run by Republicans, approved legislation yesterday. Not just a committee. It approved legislation to shift air traffic control from the FAA to a not-for-profit, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, corporation in an effort to provide, get this, more stable funding and avoid congressional politics. Now, I'm a son of a bitch. This is like the person that goes into court who's accused of murdering his mother and father and then asks for mercy because he's an orphan. The House committee approved the legislation in an effort to provide more stable funding. It's the Republicans who are fucking with the absolutely necessary funding, and to avoid congressional politics. After more than 8 hours of voting on amendments, of course, the Transportation and Infrastructure Committee approved the bill on a 32-26 vote. That's a big-ass committee, isn't it? The bill now goes to the full House and must still, of course, be considered by the Senate. Bill Shuster, Republican of Pennsylvania, the committee chairman who wrote the bill, said, I love this, the FAA's failure to modernize the system has been well documented. You rotten son of a bitch, is because you Republicans won't appropriate the money. He went on, with a modern system, we'll see more effective use of the airspace, more direct routes, increased capacities, shorter flight times, reduced delays and cancellations, and reduced pollution and noise. Oh, really? And then to celebrate, the entire Republican caucus is going to go out and walk on water. The top Democrat on the panel, Peter DeFazio of Oregon, proposed to scrap this bullshit and protect the FAA from congressional meddling by making its funding automatic rather than subjected to annual decisions from Republicans. Well, he says lawmakers, but you know what he means. But his amendment was rejected by a 25-34 vote. My goodness, that's almost the same in reverse of the vote taken to approve this madness. DeFazio said, I think fracturing the FAA is a mistake. Advocates for this bill, the fascists, contend that the FAA is unable to upgrade and manage its operations as fast or as efficiently as the industry needs. Where does the money come from? The Congress. In the Congress, where does it come from? In the House. Who has been running the House of Representatives into the fucking ground? The Republicans. That's the point. You take a government agency that is perfectly capable, if it is run efficiently, if they're not taking funds from over here and putting it there, if they're not tying shit together with bubble gum and baling wire, if you let that government entity run efficiently with proper oversight and adequate funding, the job gets done. One example, 1953, 1954, the Eisenhower Interstate Highway System. God damn! You mean you're going to spend billions and billions of dollars to build roads? Yes. And you know where Eisenhower got the idea? Of course you do. When he was a Supreme Allied Commander and he saw the Autobahn in Germany. And he was like, oh my God. So it can be done. But it won't be done because of the Republican slime, the corporate neo-fascist slime that pollutes the congressional ability to appropriate the funds and then stand back and let it happen. Hi, Truth Seekers. Mike Malloy here. You know, the Progressive Voices Network brings you commercial-free commentary from today's leading progressive radio hosts and pundits, like me, Mike Malloy, 24 hours a day. I'm not your typical old guy from the 80s or the 90s talk radio host, and Progressive Voices is not your typical talk radio network. It's a listener-supported nonprofit with no corporate control whatsoever over our broadcast. So hosts like me, Mike Malloy, are free to rant and scream and carry on about whatever we like. We're often controversial, but we're never boring. You can begin in the morning with Bill Press and then end your day screaming with me, Mike Malloy, weeknights, 9 p.m. in the East, 6 p.m. in the West on the Progressive Voices Network. Always progressive, always on. I'm Mike Malloy. Keep it lit.